morning. Welcome to News BS channel. I am Nurshafiqah Izzati, your news anchor for today. Today, I'll be sharing topics related to superstructure construction. Firstly, we will be heading to the news. Today's news is superstructure construction. The definition of superstructure construction is building parts located above the ground level such as column, beam, floor, wall, and roof. Its material are timber, steel, and concrete. Construction process for timber floor. Structing is installed between joists. The purpose is to prevent joists from rusting. Types of timber floor. Straight solid strutting. Alternate solid strutting. Herringbone strutting. All joists are arranged on timber beam. Timber beam should be bigger than timber joists. Construction process for timber frame wall. Pieces of planks are used to construct a wooden wall by nailing on timber wall structure. Construction process for timber frame roof. Factors that influence roof structure design. Span distance, types of roof cover load and weather load, cost, aesthetic value. Main characteristics of timber roof structure. Enough strength to support the cover load and external load such as rain and storm. All the frame parts consist of treated hard timber. Types of roof structure. First, couple roof. Secondly, collar roof. Thirdly, closed couple roof. Reinforced concrete frame. Concrete column formwork and concrete beam formwork. Beam is a part of a building which sustains load and transfer it to column. The column then transfer all its load to the building foundation. Procedure for column and beam construction. Formwork design. Formwork construction for concrete column. Formwork construction for concrete beam. Concrete formwork purpose is to place and form concrete mixture according to prescribed size and design. It is a temporary building structure which needs to be open when the concrete inside hardens. Procedure for column and beam construction. Reinforced steel bars installation. Concrete pouring. Procedures for column and beam construction. For formwork stripping. Formwork part. Stripping side parts of beam and column formwork takes up to 2 to 6 days duration. Secondly, stripping bottom parts, beam, support, and other unloading parts takes up to 7 to 14 days duration. Lastly, stripping bottom parts, beam, support, and other loading parts take up to 28 days duration. Example of formwork stripping. Load-bearing wall is constructed in order to support load other than its own. Wall will support all loads before transferring them to the foundation. The wall thickness is normally not less than 1 brick for 215 mm. This wall also uses reinforcement steel bars or is combined with column to strengthen its position. Non-load bearing wall is the wall which does not support other load except its own. This wall is constructed on building which has frames such as column and concrete beam. The wall thickness is sufficient with only half a brick or 102.5 mm and is normally constructed with a stretcher bond. Types of loads on superstructure. To get a safe structure at the same time without ignoring economy of the structure, it is necessary to estimate the various loads acting suitably. Indian Standard Code IS 875-1987 specifies various design loads for buildings and structures. They have grouped various loads as under dead loads, imposed loads, wind loads, snow loads, earthquake loads, special loads. And that is all for me. Now we will be heading on site with Farah.
With me, Farah Azman, for topic maintenance work for concrete superstructure. The first one is cleaning. Cleaning of concrete superstructure is extremely important. Regular cleaning of the superstructure members is necessary to remove accumulation of sand, debris, bird droppings, and other harmful materials by flushing with high-pressure water jet or compressed air, sweeping, or shoveling to remove build-up. This is particularly critical in areas where there are likely to be chloride in the debris or on surface, such as areas where salt is used for snow and ice control and marine environment. In addition to cleaning for concrete surface, ancillary elements such as drain should be cleared to allow proper drainage of the structure. An example of preventive maintenance as applied to drainage is the extension of the vertical drain pipes to 6 inches beyond the lower flange of the concrete girder. Next, move to bird control. If bird nesting or congregation is apparent, this area should be cleaned and screens, spikes, or other deterrents installed. Here a simple rubber cylinder was installed to fill in the gap between bridge bearing where a bird can build a nest. Past experience or internet searches are suggested to obtain the right solution for a particular bridge. Caution should be exercised as there may be restriction due to federal protection of birds or other species such as bats. Next, concrete superstructure protection. Concrete superstructure are shielded from much of the traffic and weather by the bridge deck. The areas of concrete superstructure that can require protection are areas below deck joints, around deck drainage components, and at and on exterior girder. The noted superstructure concrete areas are exposed to spray of or water flowing from the bridge deck and are thus susceptible to chloride exposure and the potential for freeze-toe damage. The most common treatment to protect the concrete from water and chloride is to apply spray on waterproofing product. Waterproofing products fall into two general classes. The first one, pore blockers and hydrophobic products. Pore blockers typically used are epoxies and silanus or siloxanes. Epoxy materials are also popular to treat beams and underjoints. While the entire superstructure can be coated with protection, the application is often directed to critical areas such as beams ends. Next, spoil and repair. Preventive and basic maintenance of concrete superstructure focus on preventing the deterioration of reinforcing steel. Minor cracking, sculling, and spalling can exacerbate the corrosion of rebar by allowing corrosive water and salt to infiltrate the concrete. Minor cracking can often be repaired with sealant or by other penetrating materials such as sealant, methachloride, or epoxy. Flexible joint sealants, epoxies, and cement drops are the most common maintenance for rotted cracks, which is a crack that is intentionally widened near the surface, while epoxy injection is also an option for cracks as narrow as 0.002 inches. To prevent minor scaling and spalling from growing into a major repair, it is the best to remove unsound concrete as soon as possible and replace with a concrete-type material that will protect the steel reinforcement while being structurally adequate. Options may include a simple mortar patch for small areas to use of shotcrete for largest areas. In summary, preventive maintenance of concrete superstructures include the first one, keeping the concrete surface free of salt, dirt, and debris by regular cleaning. Second, control and prevention of bird nesting and congregation which leads to deposit of corrosive waste. Third, inspecting and repair of scalding minor spots, delamination, and cracks as soon as possible. And last one, sealing the concrete to prevent chloride intrusion. Cases that related with superstructure collapse. The design plan of the Skyline Plaza complex in the United States included of 6 office buildings, 8 apartment buildings, shop, and 1 hotel. The project was a $200 million residential commercial complex and was situated in Fairfax County, Virginia. During the construction of the Skyline Plaza complex, one of the apartment buildings under construction were collapsed. A total of 15 workers were killed and 40 workers were injured. Design drawings of the collapsed building included the construction of 26 stories, a penthouse, and a 4-story store basement for parking. The building design was a reinforced concrete flat plate with a 200 mm thick concrete slab. The height between each story is 2.7 meters. On 2nd March 1973, the investigation finds that some portion of the apartment building collapsed during construction. The collapse began on the 23rd floor when the slab of the 24th floor was being cast. On the 23rd floor, the slab started showing cracks and the failure of the buildings occurred vertically along the full height of the building, including the basement level. Also, the adjacent post-tension reinforced concrete car parking structure collapsed. The video shows the collapse incident of the Skyline Plaza complex. Specialists concur that the concrete had not acquired sufficient strength to carry the construction loads applied during the construction process. Investigators confirmed that the original design plan had no deficiencies. The most probable reason for the collapse of the building was the punching shear failure on the 23rd floor of the building. After the collapse, a team from the Occupational Safety and Health Administration OSHA came to the site and started an investigation. Further, a detailed investigation was conducted by the National Bureau of Standards (NBS). NBS and OSHA mentioned in their reports that the collapse of the building was directly related to poorly managed construction process. The court found that the contractor and the site engineer were guilty negligence as the contractor did not follow the building code requirement and the site engineer did not inspect the work properly. After the collapse of the Skyline Plaza apartment building, a series of changes were made in the building code related to the progressive collapse failure. Special inspection procedures were added in the inspection section of the building codes.
Thank you, Izzati, and this will be the continuous of the topics. And the topics is about how the planning, benefits, and sustainable considerations of superstructure construction. For the planning of superstructure construction, there are 5, which is for the first one of planning of superstructure construction is to acquire land or plot. The most important step in building construction and needs to search for the locations for the building which is best suited for building construction purposes. The second one is to seek technical help. After selecting proper land for building, take the help of a professional architect to create building design and take his or her advice. For the third one, preparing estimate and budget. The building estimator will estimate the material quantity of different items of work, prepare an abstract sheet that show the cost of building construction. And the fourth one is permission from authorities. Make sure to take permission from local municipal body before go to another step. 5. Make sure to approach a builder. A builder or contractor for construction must be chosen very carefully because it is a major factor for securing building construction quality and timely constructions of work. For the benefit of superstructure constructions are, the first one is the strength and the durability of the structure. The second one is, it is easy fabrications and have in a different sizes. The third one is, it is a fire resistant. It is a pest and insect resistant. And the last one is, it is a moisture and water resistant. For the last topic of mine, which is sustainable considerations for superstructure construction, is there are 6 in total. The first one is sustainable design. On the early stage of planning and design of a building has a major impact on reducing energy use and pollution. For the second one is durability. Using durable materials and products to develop buildings means they will not need to be replaced or repaired as frequently, resulting in less maintenance. And for the third one is energy efficiency. Increasing energy efficiency will help to reduce costs. And the fourth one is waste reduction. Use low-impact materials that are sustainability sources and reuse from other projects as well as sustainable recycles at early stage of the construction process. For the fifth one, indoor air quality. Use heating system that minimize the exposure to particles. And for the last one, sustainable building materials. Use a material that can be sustained for a long time of period without no need to be maintained frequently. That's all from my topic. Okay, we are going to Farah now for the following topics.
Safety plan for superstructure construction. Safety plan basically a document that will review safety and health activity during superstructure works are done. Basically, the safety plan is to reduce or minimize the accident happens at site work. The accident happen at construction site can cause injury towards the workers, or it also can happen any hazard towards their health. Because of that, there are a few safety plans needed at construction site. The most important thing that needed in safety and health is a safety policy. Basically, the workers and the team that works at construction site need to follow the statutory requirement. The statutory requirements are follows as Dangerous Goods Ordinance and Regulation, Fire Services Ordinances, and related ordinances and regulation. Next, not only safety policy needed, but safety training also one of the most things that need to be done in safety and health plan. This is clearly to ensure the worker can use the machine properly to speed up the construction sequence and to avoid any accident happens. The person who is responsible for the project should provide a training such as lead operator training and crane operator training. Before the work starts, it should have a site orientation or induction of training. The orientation provides a forum for the owner or managing contractor to convey its commitment to provide a safe working environment for all individuals on the job site. There also is an opportunity to remind everyone of their responsibility to give due consideration to safety while planning and conducting their work. Other than that, the health assurance program should be provided. The person who is responsible need to provide some systems such as pre-employment and medical examination program for monitoring the exposure of labor. Last but not least is evaluation, selection, and controlling subcontractor. This means the communication and coordination with a subcontractor and their employees and appropriate subcontractor control. They must provide properly test system to check that all tools, materials, and substances used by the subcontractors comply with statutory requirements. That's all for our topic of superstructure news update. Thank you for watching.